to Thursday, and with fuel prices rising by the day, the Prime Minister reassured Australians he was doing everything possible to keep the petrol flowing.
We will use Export Finance Australia to underwrite the purchase of shiploads of fuel, a shipload of fuel, the purchase of shiploads.
Oh, thank God. For a moment there, I thought we were up Ship Creek. Sensing the government was vulnerable, opposition leader Angus Taylor headed to the servo to show he understood our pain at the pump.
In a time of crisis, this Liberal leader can hold a hose and he's willing to use it.
$3.19 at the Bowser right here.
Well, not quite, Angus.
And the not quite Angus burger is available at truck stops now. Things went from bad to worse when Nationals leader Matt Canavan tried to pay.
Just make sure I got enough money. Actually, I left the phone in the car. It's all right.
Yes, Angus Taylor falling for the old left my phone in the car trick. The dynamic duo of Canavan and Taylor were joined by Bridget McKenzie, the power throuple keen to show just how hard it is to fill up and answer the age-old question, how many coalition politicians does it take to fill a tank? The answer, of course, 3. 1 to fill the tank, 1 to watch the prices, and 1 to hold the woman back from a real position of leadership. Meanwhile, fuel wasn't the only thing we were running short of.
The war in the Middle East is not just leading to fuel shortages, fertiliser supplies are also running critically low.
Australia imports 96% of our urea fertilisers from overseas, with over half of that coming from the Middle East.
There are fresh warnings that Australia's food production could be halved in months.
Rising fertiliser prices have our farmers struggling. You know, if only there was some way to make us latte sippers in the city care.
Victorians could soon face $7.50 coffees.
$7.50 for a coffee? That is a shipload. I mean, that's $30 a litre. At that price, I'm switching to diesel. With the crisis intensifying, the PM called the National Cabinet to Canberra to come up with solutions. But Barnaby Joyce wasn't optimistic.
OK, another National Cabinet.
What are you hoping comes out of that?
Coffee, biscuits, earnest looks and nothing.
Coffee, biscuits, earnest looks and nothing. A grim prospect, but a great title for Meghan Markle's new Netflix show. While the PM did eventually halve the fuel excise, he also called on motorists to pump responsibly.
Only buy the fuel you need. Make voluntary choices to use less.
Moved by Albo's plea, Aussie drivers heeded the call for restraint.
Crowds just metres from danger as cars spin out of control. But today, the game was over. Have you been at Hoon Meets recently?
Go yourself.
Rude, but another great title for Meghan Markle's new Netflix show. To Saturday, and anyone who has eyes, ears or is measuring their pet dog for a saddle because fuel is too expensive knows that the war in Iran isn't going well. But Donald Trump insists it's going great, and this week we found out why.
We start with the new reporting that the president's understanding of the war in Iran is being shaped, in part, by short highlight reels of what one official describes as stuff being blown up.
President Trump's daily briefings include video montages of the biggest, most successful strikes on Iranian targets.
The military every single day creates videos, probably similar to the ones that you're seeing here now, of some of the biggest explosions.
Or, as Trump calls them, America's explodiest home videos. Trump thinks things are going so well that despite the Strait of Hormuz still being under Iranian control, he's already given it a catchy rebrand.
The Strait of Hormuz, or as Donald Trump calls it,
the Strait of Trump.
Yeah, funny. I thought the Strait of Trump was the name of the water slide at Epstein Island. But by Sunday, Trump's ambitious 48-hour deadline for Iran to reopen the strait had been re-extended.
The president had a 48-hour deadline last Saturday. That became a 5-day deadline on Monday.
And today, it's a 10-day deadline. 3 separate deadlines in the space of 5 days. The world is going to stop believing in these deadlines.
And now he says, at the request of Iran specifically, he will be extending this until the day after Easter, April 6th at 8 p.m.
2 days, 5 days, shorter time frames, whereas 10 gets you past some of the upcoming Jewish holidays, gets you past Easter. I'm just trying to think of those dynamics.
Oh, yeah. If there's one thing I know about the theocratic Islamic Republic of Iran, they are mad for Jewish holidays and Easter. Yeah. Oy vey, they love the eggs. And Trump had good reason to think the Iranians were ready to make a deal. After all, they sent him a special present.
They're going to make a deal. They did something yesterday that was amazing, actually. They gave us a present, and the present arrived today. And it was a very big present worth a tremendous amount of money.
What that present is not yet clear.
Wait, don't tell me. Is it a giant wooden horse that occasionally makes muffled coughing noises? It turns out it was just a few oil tankers, but Iran's AI propaganda department threw in a little extra something they knew he'd like: a copy of Iran's explodiest home videos.
Iran has released a shocking AI-generated video depicting a missile destroying the Statue of Liberty.
Since the conflict broke out, we've seen both Iran and the US embrace a new style of war propaganda, notably using memes, AI, and trolling.
Why nobody helps me to open Hormuz?
Sir, Iranians have released a new Lego-style animation.
I tell you what, brutal regime Iran, but you can't fault their sense of humour. In response, Trump has now set a 48-hour deadline until the invasion of Legoland. To Tuesday, and if you've ever felt like tech companies have been deliberately getting you addicted to social media, it turns out you're right. Let's find out more. And while we do, let's play a game called Tiny Man or Giant Phone.
An unprecedented win for a young woman who sued the companies Meta and Google over her childhood addiction to social media. Meta, which owns Instagram, Facebook and WhatsApp, and Google, the owner of YouTube, were found liable for intentionally building addictive social media platforms.
Big tech, your jig is up.
Well, it's been labelled the tobacco moment for tech giants.
This has commentators wondering if these trials mean social media's, quote, big tobacco moment has come.
Big tech's big tobacco moment. And I should know, at one stage, I was smoking up to 3 MySpaces a day. In a David and Goliath battle, a 20-year-old woman addicted to her phone for over 10 years took on 2 of the biggest tech companies in the world and won. And no one was more shocked than the plaintiff's lawyer.
OK, so the jury has spoken. We won.
A level of surprise that suggests he spent most of the trial on his phone doom-scrolling Facebook. The woman will receive a total payout of $6 million, which may seem tiny to trillion-dollar companies like Meta and Google, but it could open the door to thousands of similar lawsuits. A bitter pill to swallow for Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg, who was forced to testify at the trial and, in a surprise move, arrived at the court with First Lady Melania Trump. And finally, Wednesday, and NASA's Artemis II spacecraft prepared to boldly go where we have absolutely gone before.
The rocket is on the launch pad. The astronauts have arrived at the Kennedy Space Station in Florida. The countdown is on for NASA's return to the moon. The astronauts are preparing for an April 1st launch.
Reid Wiseman, the mission's commander, who's had a lifelong love of flying but says he's scared of heights.
Sending a man who's afraid of heights to the moon on April 1st. This might be the most elaborate April Fool's prank of all time. And expensive. If you think it's pricey filling up the Land Cruiser, try refuelling your rocket on the Easter long weekend. Now, the more astute history buffs among you might remember that we've already been to the moon. So, apart from earning enough flybys to get you an entire Curtis Stone fry pan, what exactly is the point of spending billions to go back?
we have the opportunity to see parts of the far side of the moon with human eyes that have never been seen before.
The Artemis II mission is a roughly 10-day high-speed loop around the moon and back.
So we are not landing on the moon. We are actually going to go around it.
Good idea. America is clear they want no moon boots on the ground. No regime change, just a targeted 10-day aerial campaign to reopen the Sea of Tranquility. At long last, restoring the flow of cheese, which is now over $100 a barrel. Now, back in 1969, at the height of the Cold War, NASA landed on the moon with a message of unity.
Dear men from the planet Earth, first set foot upon the moon. It came in peace for all mankind.
Fake. So in these troubled times, Earth President Trump's hand-picked head of NASA, Jared Isaacman, has a similar message of peace.
Space is obviously a war-fighting domain. Space is the ultimate high ground. This time, when we go back to stay. We're going to build President Trump's moon base.
America will never again give up the moon.
So it's one small step for man, one giant middle finger to mankind.